Story time. So you hear people sometimes talking about a guy being humble. That guy is so humble, like a badge of honor. Well, for me, there's one man who gave me a proper lesson in humility, and he probably doesn't even know that he did. He might not even find this video amusing because he's not about that life, but I'm going to put him on blast anyway. 1999. Some friends of mine and I are at a conference in Johannesburg at a place at the time it was called the Sun Dome. Thousands of people in attendance. It ended at around 9 p.m. and we didn't have transport to take us home. So because I was good at speaking to strangers, I guess, it's that balancing act of putting people at ease in the first few seconds that you meet them, letting them know that you're a safe guy. That was me. So I was the designated walk amongst the cars and find a lift guy. The only two people that were left after all the other guys had gone were myself and Aubrey Singer. What's up, Aubrey? So Aubrey and I approached this man close to a van. We talked to him. And after vetting us, which is the right thing to do, he feels a bit safe and he says, okay, I'll give you a lift. So during that ride, he's asking us what we do. Aubrey tells him, he's working in the corporate world. He's a freelance cameraman, volunteer at church. I'm at the time studying advertising. And he tells us that our careers or what we do are similar because he's in media and he's a journalist and he's an editor. So like, cool. We keep on speaking and I tell him that at the moment I'm reading a book by Pastor Ray McCauley. It was his biography called Destined to Win. He asked me something like, how you finding the book, etc. Nothing too deep. 20 minutes later, we get to the flat. He hands us a copy of the magazine that he edits. We say bye to him. I get in the house and once I open the magazine, there he is, headshot, editor's notes on the first page, name of the editor, Ron Steele. And I pause and I'm thinking, I've heard this name somewhere. My mind's racing. Then I remember, wait, I pick up the book, the same book that I was reading, Pastor Ray McCauley's biography, and I open it and it says, written by Ron Steele. In other words, he had written the very book that I was telling him about in the car, and not once did he mention that he was the author. So ladies and gentlemen, that is a hot lesson in humility, I'd say, and that stayed with me for decades. Sometimes you'll meet the coolest people, the most impressive people, and they don't feel they need to prove it. With that said, thank you so much, Mr. Ron Steele, for the lesson. And thank you once again for the lift.